Going vegan in a Mexican household.
Not another vegan video. I think the most interesting and important thing to know is that when I first went vegan, my dad, is very likes to eat meat a lot, was like, what are you gonna eat then?
Yes.
And I think the instant response from Mexican family is like, oh my God, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy, don't you think?
Yes. I went through the same thing.
Yeah.
My dad was the most meat-forward person in the family.
Yes.
In fact, my mom actually grew up eating mostly vegetarian in Mexico.
Yeah.
But because of my dad, my mom started cooking very heavy meat dishes. I have 2 younger brothers and uncles, and all that. And I would definitely get teased and made fun from them because I was vegan and I was same thing. What are you gonna eat?
Yeah.
Are you gonna eat the grass outside or what?
Yeah, or like here's a vegetable that you can only eat. And it's I think in terms of like the teasing wasn't as traumatic as I guess from your perspective. Mine. That's because my sister was vegan already, so I think my parents were like, well, we already know what to make her.
Yeah.
And my mom is also very, very plant forward in her diet, and she mainly eats vegan. Actually, whenever I visit her in LA, she's all vegan. Now I've actually inspired her to make a lot of vegan recipes. Like just a few days ago, she made almond cheese, like vegan. And so, my mom is very plant forward, and I feel like for me, like, pambazos were something that I really loved to eat growing up. And they're basically like these like salsa sandwiches that have like chorizo, potatoes, like crema, whatever. But you can make that vegan easily. And I feel like I didn't have to sacrifice any animal, and I didn't have to sacrifice my culture to do that. And I feel like it also was more like affordable.
I don't know if you also went to carne asada. So if you grew up in a Mexican household, usually you were going to carne asadas on the weekend with family and all that.
They were the worst. They were. Just beer and meat.
Yeah.
That's not even healthy.
Yeah, but what I remember too is that like my mom would make ensalada de nopales, so cactus.
Yes, I am
salad.
obsessed with
So
cactus.
like that is on its own, it's a vegan dish.
Yeah.
And like rice, frijoles, beans, like all of those side dishes are vegan. And it's just funny to me that we would get made like for me, or just growing up in that Mexican household, is like, oh, what are you gonna eat? But look, we have all these Mexican side dishes that are vegan. So.
Yeah, and I think my parents were also like, even at Mexican parties, if other family members would see you not eat, they'd be like, no está comiendo, are they okay?
Yes.
Está flaco. And it's like, also there's a lot of body shaming that goes in a lot of Mexican family households. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times like my weight has fluctuated over the years and being told, you're too thin, you're too big, you're too thin, it honestly adds psychological damage. And there's a point now where I'm like, I just love eating plants and like don't need to feel like I have to compromise anything. And I had to remove myself from those spaces because they were honestly not productive and conductive for my mental health.
Also, one thing that was often said to me, talking about like family and all that, if I were ever to go to like a taqueria, taco spot, they would be like, no se te antoja?
Yes.
Like meaning you don't crave meat, and like they would they'll give me the weirdest look.
Yes.
They're like, you're really just gonna eat beans and rice?
Yeah.
Yes. So.
And then they're like, you need substance. I'm like, this is substance. Plants is what gives more nutrients.
These are protein.
And then I would respond and be like, no te preocupa el cáncer del meat. Like, and then they'd be like, mad at me because I would say that. I'd be like, aren't you afraid of getting cancer from eating meat? That's toxic. And they're like, get mad at me. And it's like, all right, well, I see how you are acting. But when you develop the education, develop the tools, it's almost like it is hard to fight your cultural family sometimes. Yes, we can say that culture is changing, our ideologies have changed, but internally from our grandparents and like elders, they're still stuck on certain beliefs.
Yeah.